there's things that we've seen create roadblocks for people, and we want to just like try to make sure that those roadblocks are addressed in some way.
I'm here in Beachview at the seldom seen Greenway, which is home to projects making use of vacant lands like this one, and in the process supporting land sinks, which help pull carbon dioxide out of the atmosphere. How can we look at land that's underutilized and use our imaginations to see ways to make the most of that land and in the process serve as a climate solution? Today I'm talking with Tom Mulholland with Grounded Strategies about his work working with communities to make the most of vacant lots throughout Pittsburgh. Just Tom in general, like, how do you introduce yourself to people?
I'm Tom Mulholland. I use he, him pronouns. I'm a senior project manager at Grounded Strategies.
What does Grounded Strategies do?
We work in like underserved communities to support residents in reclaiming vacant land and addressing issues related to hypervacancy. So that kind of looks a lot of different ways. There's a lot of different ways that we like address that goal or that we do that work. Sometimes it's, just supporting an existing grassroots effort. So we offer resources and technical assistance and things of that nature to help people who already have kind of a vision in mind. We also work in communities where that kind of desire to do something in green space and open space is more nascent. In that case, we can help with planning, we can do like co-design work, and we can facilitate like the implementation of those projects.
When did you realize that you were interested in land use?
I kind of was always into drawing and writing and stuff in high school, and then in college try to intentionally make that happen more around myself, organizing zines. I like to make little comics and that sort of thing. The fun part was making stuff and doing it with other people. I think that like continues into why I like gravitated towards this organization and then was sustained in the work that can be really, we do a lot of different stuff and it can be like a lot sometimes, but it's all very creative and it's all helping people like make real the thing that they had in their mind, and that's always just really rewarding.
What excites you most about the work that you do?
Just the people. So like I get to work with a lot of really great community leaders. I get to be a part of working with like these inspiring people all over the city, which is really great. And then I get to contribute to all these different projects, the variety of people and projects that I get to participate in.
What's the relationship between some of these farms, like Sankofa Farm, for example? Because obviously you're doing different things, but you're working together. Like, what's the piece that they're doing and what's the piece that you're all doing?
There's things that we've seen create roadblocks for people, and we want to try to make sure that those roadblocks are addressed in some way. A lot of people are bringing the energy, but they maybe don't have a shed full of tools, so we can bring that. A lot of people doing these projects pay out of their own, what they have saved and stuff to get some compost, so like a new paint to refresh the thing. And like that all adds up. It's one more reason why somebody might hang up their hat and be like, okay, I can't continue to do this. We want to support that network of people who are doing this work on their own, so they're not getting burnt out, and people who might want to enter that space feel like they're able to do it because they're supported by these existing resources. And we're not the only ones who offer resources like that too. Grow Pittsburgh and their Garden Resource Center is hugely helpful to a lot of people doing that work too.
Could you talk about like the climate solution and how your work is a climate solution?
So yeah, we trial solutions like this. Let's see if we can establish a wildflower meadow and do it in a way that can be replicated and can be like brought to a larger scale, contributing significantly to like a reduction in the carbon emissions that would go towards maintenance, and then also creating habitat as well as temporary carbon sink and that sort of thing as well.
For Grounded, what is that, like the scale of it currently?
Demonstration projects and parcel scale community projects, there's a couple hundred. We have the vision of this being hundreds and hundreds of parcels if we can show that it's a sustainable approach. Yeah.
You mentioned curiosity as being something on your journey, but could you talk about what role it's played on your journey to where you are now?
You have to have that curiosity and humility. You're coming in as a generalist, applying your energy to help make these things happen, but you have to understand that doesn't make you an expert. There's subject matter experts that you can draw from, and then there's also the community members that you're working from who are really the experts in what is appropriate in a given space or in a given context too. It's just a learning process. There's like the knowledge that you're seeking, and then there's the knowledge that's going to be given to you in that process regardless, and you need to take both of those types of knowledge.
Like, what's the world that you want to build?
I want to see very practically like increased community ownership of land. I want to see within these communities that have been underserved by municipal, state, national institutions that there's greater levels of land ownership. Grounded is moving in that direction, and I'm excited to be a part of that movement. And how do we really facilitate getting more land back to these communities? I love to just be a part of people's creative placemaking stuff. I love to come out of something new, having to see a vacant parcel like transform into a space that's going to produce like a lot of meaning for the people who spend time there. But also I want to be a part of very real changes in power dynamics through that process of transforming the land, but also transitioning like ownership and that sort of thing as well.
One thing that's so fascinating to me about your journey overall is that you kind of talked about not knowing where you wanted to go on that journey exactly, or exactly where you wanted to kind of end up, but yet there's still that curiosity that's driving things forward. So even if you don't know what's at the end of the road, but I think to have like that guiding star, which you have in terms of the impact you want to have, is a pretty powerful thing. And if you keep following that curiosity, like, you'll get there, which I think is really cool.
Hello, I'm Tom Mulholland, and I'm helping the world reach drawdown through land sinks, specifically through improving vacant land management processes.